The second the HOA demanded a key to my backyard gate, my quiet little world in Willow Creek exploded into chaos I never saw coming. One tiny lock, barely 6 inches of steel, unleashed a storm of greed, lies, and neighborhood drama that'd make your jaw drop. It all kicked off on a Tuesday afternoon so perfect you'd swear the universe was mocking me. I'm mid-email, coffee in hand, when my doorbell blasts through the silence like a fire alarm. I peek through the peephole and bam, there's Linda Carter, Willow Creek HOA president, glaring like I've personally insulted her entire bloodline. Blonde highlights blazing in the sun, arms crossed tight, she's tapping her foot so hard I half expect sparks. I swing the door open, faking a grin. Hey, Linda, what's the emergency? She doesn't even blink. Emergency board meeting last night. That gate you slapped up by the lake? It's blocking the path we've all used forever. Give me a key. Today. Her voice slices like a knife, and I'm standing there, stunned. Wait, what? That path's on my land. I triple-checked the deed when I moved in 6 months ago. Linda's smirk twists, cold as ice. Unanimous vote, Mike. People are furious, 20 extra minutes to the lake because of you. Hand it over, or you'll regret it. My pulse spikes. I bolted that gate up after weeks of finding crushed beer cans and chip bags strewn across my yard, proof my neighbors thought my property was their personal playground. Linda, I'm not budging. County records say it's mine. Private. Done deal. Her cheeks flare red. That path's been ours since the 90s. Ever heard of established use? She's practically spitting the words. I lean in, adrenaline pumping. Oh, I've heard of it. My lawyer says no easement, no claim, especially with my no trespassing signs up since spring. Linda's eyes turn to slits. She steps closer, voice dropping to a hiss. HOA bylaws, Section 12 community access trumps your little gate. Ask Greg Miller. Fought us over his shed last year. Now he's drowning in $85,000 in fines. Give me the key, Mike, or we'll bury you. My heart slams against my ribs. A threat? Seriously? I shove Tom's business card, my cousin, a lawyer, into her hand. Talk to him. We're done here. I slam the door as she stammers, watching through the blinds as she storms off, phone already glued to her ear. I'm shaking when I call Tom. They're coming for me, I blurt. Record everything, he says, calm as ever. We'll fight this. Sleep's a lost cause that night. At 11:45 p.m., my phone lights up, a security alert. I snatch it, breath catching. 3 shadows at my gate. Linda's blonde hair glows under the moonlight. Brian Hayes, HOA treasurer, and Steve Parker, facilities guy, lurking beside her. Brian's got bolt cutters gleaming in his grip. My hands tremble as I hit record and dial 911. Someone's breaking into my yard. I hiss to the dispatcher, voice cracking. I'm yanking on a hoodie when headlights flood my driveway. Officer Daniels bangs on my door, flashlight blazing. Heard about trespassers, he grunts. I shove my phone at him, footage still rolling. That's the HOA board trying to bust my lock. His jaw tightens. Let's see. We hustle to the gate. No one's there, but my padlock's gouged like someone took a hacksaw to it. Muddy footprints snake through the grass. This is attempted breaking and entering, Daniels mutters, scribbling fast. Then Linda's SUV screeches up. She leaps out with Brian, all sugar and spice. Officer. Thank goodness. We were just checking community property this jerk's hogging. Daniels doesn't flinch. County says it's private, ma'am. Caught you on camera messing with a lock at midnight. That's a problem. I'm standing there, heart pounding, as Linda's fake smile cracks. It's an HOA matter, she snaps. Daniels cuts her off. Bylaws don't override state law. Go home. Call your lawyer. She glares daggers at me as they peel out. Daniels turns. Keep that camera on. Call if they're back. I nod, adrenaline still buzzing. Back inside, I'm wired, sleep's not happening. Then my inbox pings at 6 a.m., 5 HOA violation notices. Mailbox too blue. Hedges too tall. $150 daily fines each. My hands shake as I scroll. This isn't about a gate anymore. It's war. And you watching this, drop a comment below. Ever had an HOA pull something this wild? I need to know I'm not alone here. The next morning, my phone's blowing up like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. Texts from numbers I don't even recognize. Mike, what's with the gate drama? You're really blocking the lake? Emergency meeting tonight, because of you. I rub my eyes, still jittery from last night's showdown with Linda and her HOA goons. I stumble to the kitchen, brew coffee strong enough to wake a coma patient, and open the Willow Creek community app. There it is, pinned at the top. Urgent. New homeowner blocks lake access. Emergency meeting tonight, 7 p.m., clubhouse. All must attend. Below it, a photo of my gate, my private gate, slapped with a caption screaming, "Selfish move threatens our community values." 42 comments already, most from people I've never met. Piling on. Who does he think he is? Tear it down. My hands clench the mug so hard I'm surprised it doesn't shatter. This isn't just retaliation, it's a public execution. I call Tom, my lawyer cousin, spilling the mess. They're turning everyone against me. I half yell, "Take pictures of your property," he says, cool as ice. "Prove it's all legit. I'll draft a cease and desist today. Grab your survey from the county, too." I burn a sick day, jump in my truck, and haul it to the Benton County Clerk's office. The lady behind the counter, Betty, her name tag says, looks up as I explain. "Willow Creek HOA again?" she asks, smirking. I nod, thrown off. She leans in, voice low. "You're not the first. They've been pulling this lakefront stunt for years, tried rewriting zoning maps in 17. Got shut down, but they don't quit." My jaw hits the floor. "They what?" She slides my deed and survey over. "See this line? Your land runs straight to the shore. No easements." They're bluffing. Armed with proof, I'm feeling a spark of hope. I spend the afternoon snapping pics, my hedges, regulation height, my mailbox, standard navy, my gate, 100% mine. Then my phone buzzes. Security alert. I race outside, heart in my throat, and freeze. My lock's gone smashed to bits. A shiny new one dangles in its place, a note taped beside it, "Community access restored. Call HOA for your key." They broke my property. In broad daylight. I'm shaking with rage as I dial 911 again. Officer Ramirez rolls up this time, a stocky guy with a no-nonsense vibe. He snaps photos of the wreckage, the note, the new lock. "Vandalism and trespassing," he says, voice flat. "Press charges." "Hell yes," I shoot back. "And I want a restraining order on Linda, Brian, and Steve." As Ramirez scribbles, my neighbor Sarah Evans shuffles over, her silver hair peeking from a floppy sun hat. She's 78, lives 2 houses down, and looks like she's about to cry. "I saw them," she whispers. "Linda, Brian, that handyman they use, bolt cutters, noon sharp. Caught it on my porch cam. I could kiss her." "Sarah, would you tell the cop?" She nods, fierce. "I'm sick of their nonsense. They fined me $200 last month over my wind chimes. Been up 15 years. Ramirez takes her statement, promising to haul the HOA trio in for questioning. My phone rings, Brian's voice, tight and low. "Drop the charges, Mike. We'll forget the gate. Jennifer knows your boss. One call, and your job's toast." I hang up, fury boiling. They're hitting below the belt now. By 6 p.m., cars flood the clubhouse lot. The meeting's about to start, and I'm not letting them steamroll me. I grab my folder, deed, survey, footage, and Tom meets me there, briefcase in hand. We walk in, and the room goes dead silent. 50 pairs of eyes drill into me. Linda's up front, smirking like she's already won, a projector flashing my gate with "hostile takeover" scrawled in red. "This is a private meeting," she snaps. I fire back. "I'm a homeowner. My lawyer's my guest." Tom steps up, voice booming. "This violates your own bylaws, 2 weeks notice required. Any vote tonight's void." Whispers ripple through the crowd. Linda's knuckles whiten on her podium. "It's an emergency," she barks. Then the doors swing open. Ramirez strides in with 2 cops. "Linda Carter, Brian Hayes, Steve Parker, we need to talk about property damage today." The place erupts. People shout, chairs scrape. A guy near me mutters, "They said that path was ours forever." Sarah's waving at me from across the room, slipping me a note. "Check HOA funds, $8,00004, lake upkeep, last year." Where'd it go? My mind races. This isn't just about my gate. It's bigger, uglier. Linda's losing it, banging a gavel. "Order," she screeches, but the crowd's turning. Tom leans in. We've got them rattled. Next move's ours. As we file out, neighbors swarm me, some mad, some curious. "They jacked our dues $75 for that path," one guy grumbles. Sarah's voice cuts through. "They're voting to lien your house tomorrow." My stomach drops. This is spiraling fast. So, you tell me, ever seen an HOA this unhinged? Hit that subscribe button if you're hooked, because trust me, it's about to get wilder. The next morning hits me like a freight train. I'm barely awake, still reeling from the chaos at the clubhouse, when my phone starts buzzing like a swarm of angry bees. It's Sarah, her voice trembling through the line. Mike, they're outside your house right now, Linda, Brian, the whole HOA crew. They're furious. I stumble to the window, peek through the blinds, and there they are, 5 of them huddled in my driveway, blocking my truck. Linda's front and center, arms crossed, her blonde hair practically vibrating with rage. Brian's pacing, glasses fogged with sweat, while Steve's muttering into his phone. My stomach flips. This isn't a social call. I hit record on my phone, slip it in my pocket, and step outside, adrenaline pumping. Morning, folks, I say, forcing calm. Why are you camping on my driveway? Linda doesn't waste a second. Drop that police report, Mike, she hisses, stepping so close I can smell her lavender perfume. The board's calling you a threat to Willow Creek. One chance to back off before this gets ugly. My heart's hammering, but I hold her glare. You mean uglier than breaking my lock yesterday? Brian jumps in, voice sharp. We're protecting tradition. That path's been ours for decades. I pull out my survey, waving it like a flag. Not according to this. Private property. End of story. Linda snatches an envelope from Steve and shoves it at me. Special assessment, voted last night. Your security issues cost us $750. Due Friday. I don't even open it. My lawyer's gonna love this, I say, turning for my truck. They part reluctantly, but Linda's parting shot chills me. Think hard. Mike. We know people. I'm shaking as I drive to work, replaying her words. We know people. What's that supposed to mean? At the office, I can barely focus, emails blur into nonsense. During lunch, I call Tom, forwarding the driveway recording. They're targeting you with that assessment, he says. It's illegal, discriminatory enforcement. Keep every scrap of evidence. Then my phone lights up again. Text from neighbors, all identical. Emergency HOA meeting tonight, 7 p.m. Except I didn't get the official notice. Sarah calls, panicked. They're saying it's for homeowners in good standing only. Mike, they're voting to lien your house, claiming $120,000 in back violations. My knees buckle. $120,000? I've been here 6 months. They've got fake letters dating back years, she whispers. People are buying it. I'm spiraling. Fake violations? A lien? I call Officer Ramirez, spilling the update, then Tom, who says, meet me at the clubhouse. Bring everything. I grab my folder, deed, survey, footage, and race home to pick up the smashed lock pieces Ramirez bagged yesterday. By 6:50 p.m., the clubhouse lot's packed, cars spilling onto the grass. I pull in, nerves electric, just as Tom rolls up. Ramirez follows, lights off but unmistakable in his cruiser. Ready? Tom asks, gripping his briefcase. I nod, barely breathing. Let's do this. We storm in, and the room freezes. 60 neighbors, eyes wide, staring us down. Linda's at the podium, mid-rant, a slideshow of my gate glowing behind her with community betrayal in bold red. This is private, she snaps. I fire back. I'm a homeowner, Linda. My lawyer's with me. Tom steps up, voice cutting through the tension. This meeting breaks your bylaws, no 2-week notice. And he votes trash. Murmurs ripple. Linda grips her gavel like a weapon. It's an emergency, she yells. Then Ramirez strides in, badge flashing. Linda Carter, Brian Hayes, Steve Parker step outside. We've got questions about yesterday's vandalism. The place explodes, shouts, gasps, chaos. A woman near me stands, furious. You said he was the vandal, she yells at Linda. Sarah's voice rings out. They've been charging us $75 a year for that path. It's his land. Linda's pounding her gavel, screaming, order, but it's slipping away. Tom leans in, whispering, they're cracking. Time to push. I hold up my folder. This path's private, county says so. No easement, no tradition. They've been lying to you all. A guy in back, Tim, I think, stands. Linda, you swore it was deeded to us. Tom jumps in. No record exists. We checked. Ramirez holds up the evidence bag, my mangled lock. Got fingerprints. This isn't a debate. It's a crime scene. Neighbors turn on each other, voices rising. They raised dues for that? My fence permit got denied till I paid Steve's buddy. Linda's face goes white, but she tries one last play. Outsiders like him ruin us, she shouts, pointing at me. I step forward, voice steady. I'm no outsider. I'm a homeowner they've scammed, just like you. Sarah's note burns in my pocket. $8,000 unaccounted for. I lock eyes with Tom. Financials, I whisper. He nods. We're subpoenaing them. As we leave, people swarm me, angry, confused, spilling their own HOA horror stories. They fined me $300 for my dog barking once. My roof repair cost double, cause of their approved guy. Sarah grabs my arm. They're done, Mike. We're fighting back. My head's spinning, but one thing's clear. This gate's just the tip of something rotten. So, you watching, drop a comment. What's the craziest HOA fee you've ever paid? I'm betting it's not $8,000 for a lie. The air feels thick the next day, like the whole neighborhood's holding its breath. I'm sipping coffee, still wired from the clubhouse madness, when my doorbell jolts me upright. It's Sarah, her eyes wide, clutching a stack of papers. Mike, you need to see this, she says, shoving them into my hands. I dug through old HOA minutes, 5 years of notes. They've been billing us $10,000 annually for lake projects that never happened. My jaw drops as I scan her shaky handwriting. Fake vendor names, inflated dues, 0 receipts. Where'd the money go? I mutter. She nods grimly. Exactly. I call Tom on speaker. We're filing for discovery on their financials, he says. This could be fraud, big time. By noon, my phone's ringing off the hook. Neighbors I barely know, spilling dirt. They fined me $500 for a shed I never built. My patio permit got lost till I paid Brian's cousin. It's like a dam broke. Everyone's got a story, and they're pissed. Then Ramirez calls. Got a warrant for HOA records based on your case and Sarah's footage. Found something else, too, a ledger in Linda's office. She's got a list of troublemakers to push out. You're number 1, Mike. My blood runs cold. Push out? Why me? Your lot's prime, biggest lakefront. Word is, her buddy's a developer with plans. I'm reeling. This isn't just petty HOA nonsense, it's a calculated scam. That afternoon, I'm pacing my kitchen when Tom bursts in, tie loose, grinning like he's won the lottery. Court's fast-tracking us. Discovery came through, $142,000 paid to Lakeside Solutions. No employees, no office, just a P.O. box. Guess who's cashing the checks? I don't even need to ask. Linda. He nods. And Brian's signature's on half the transfers. My head spins. They've been robbing us blind, right under our noses. We're taking this to the judge tomorrow, Tom says. You ready? I clench my fists. Let's burn it down. The courtroom's packed the next morning. Neighbors crammed in the benches, whispering like it's a blockbuster premiere. Linda's up front, fidgeting, her perfect hair fraying at the edges. Brian slouched beside her, avoiding eye contact. Tom lays it out, voice booming. Your Honor, the HOA marketed my client's private land as a community perk for 7 years, hiking dues to maintain it. He clicks to a glossy flyer I've never seen. My gate, labeled Willow Creek Lake Access. Gasps ripple through the crowd. They funneled $142,000 to a shell company, Tom continues, with payments traced to Ms. Carter's personal account. Linda's lawyer leaps up. Objection. This is a property dispute, not a finance lesson. The judge adjusts his glasses. Overruled. This ties in. Proceed. Sarah's gripping my arm, whispering, I paid $300 extra last year for that lie. Across the room, Tim, the guy from the meeting, stands furious. I worked overtime to cover those dues. Linda's face is ash white, her lawyer scrambling. Then it happens. She requests a sidebar. 20 minutes later, the judge returns, stone-faced. Based on evidence and a new DA motion, Linda Carter, Brian Hayes, and Steve Parker face charges of fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy. Officers, take them into custody. Handcuffs click. Linda shoots me a glare that could melt steel as she's led out. This isn't over, Mike, she hisses. I don't flinch. It's over for her. Outside, news vans swarm our street, Channel 5, Fox 12, the works. My phone's a hotline, reporters, neighbors, even my boss asking, what the hell's going on? That night, a court-appointed admin calls an HOA meeting. The community center's bursting, people standing in the aisles, faces a mix of rage and disbelief. The admin drops the bombshell. Beyond the lake scam, they created 6 fake vendors, drained the reserve fund, took kickbacks from real contractors. We're auditing everything. A woman shouts, what now? New board election, full financial review, and every violation from the last 3 years gets rechecked. Most look bogus. Tim stands. I nominate Sarah, she called this years ago. Cheers erupt. She blushes but nods. I'll do it if someone handles the numbers. A quiet guy, Jeff, an accountant, volunteers. I'm in. I slip outside for air, head buzzing. Ramirez joins me, hands in his pockets. Found a journal at Linda's. She planned to force you out violations till you'd sell cheap to her developer pal. Councilman Hayes, Brian's uncle, was in on it, too. My jaw tightens. The council. He nods. DA's sticking deeper. I stare at the lake, glittering under the stars. This started with a gate. Now it's tearing through City Hall. Back inside, Sarah's at the podium, rallying the crowd. We're taking our neighborhood back. Applause shakes the walls. I'm not alone anymore. This fight's ours. So, you, what's the shadiest thing an HOA's ever pulled on you? Drop it in the comments. We're 4 parts in, and trust me, the finale's gonna blow your mind. 6 months later, I'm sitting in the DA's office, flipping through a stack of papers thicker than a phone book, and I can't believe how far this has gone. You watching, ever think one little gate could topple a whole corrupt empire? Because that's where we're at. It's a crisp April morning in Willow Creek, the kind where the lake sparkles like it's celebrating with us. I'm prepping my final testimony with Lisa Nguyen, the lead prosecutor, who's grinning like she's about to drop a mic. Mike, your records, every email, every photo turned this from a neighborhood spat into a citywide reckoning, she says. I laugh, thinking of my grandpa's old saying, keep the receipts, kid. Never thought it'd take down an HOA and half the council. Outside, the neighborhood's transformed. New swings gleam in the park, flowers line the paths, and the community center's got a fresh coat of paint. Our dues finally doing some good. Neighbors wave as I walk home. People who wouldn't look me in the eye a year ago now stop to chat. Tim jogs over, sweaty from a run. Heard the latest? They found another account, $180,000 stashed. We're getting 65% back. My eyes widen. No way. What's the plan? He grins. Sarah's pushing a real lake access point, north side. Fishing dock, picnic tables, the works. Way better than your path. No offense. I laugh. None taken. My gate's happy being boring again. At home, a letter from the court waits. Restitution set. Linda, Brian, and Steve cut plea deals. No jail, but they're stuck with years of community service and repayment plans that'll bleed them dry. My doorbell chimes, and there's Sarah, arms full of muffins and a folder. Board meeting prep, she says, plopping the goodies on my counter. Never thanked you properly, Mike. I shake my head. You're the one leading now. She smiles, soft but fierce. You showed me standing up matters. I was terrified of them, paid every fine they threw at me. Now I'm rewriting the rules. We spread the docs out, new bylaws, crystal clear. Violations need photos, votes, and proof. Finances? Posted monthly, every cent accounted for. Vendors? Competitively bid. No more shadows. How's your gate? Sarah teases, eyes twinkling. Quiet. Perfect, I say, grinning. As she leaves, I spot a moving truck down the street, Linda's old place. A young family's unloading, kids racing around. The little boy waves, all gap-toothed enthusiasm, and I wave back. Hope flickers. This could be their fresh start. That night, I hit the HOA meeting, first time I've gone willingly. The room's alive, buzzing with chatter. Sarah calls it to order. First up, lake project starts next month, under budget, thanks to Tim's haggling. Applause erupts. The plans flash up, dock, benches, a kayak launch. My narrow path's a distant memory, and I'm good with that. After, Ramirez catches me outside. Councilman Hayes resigned today, kickback probes hitting 3 more. Your gate cracked this wide open. I shake my head, amazed. Keeps growing. Huh? He shrugs. Corruption's a hydra, cut 1 head, fined 5. But you and this crew? You torch the roots. He hands me a card. FBI's sniffing county zoning now. They'll call. You in. I think of the hate mail, the slashed tires during the worst of it, then Sarah's muffins, Tim's grin, this new Willow Creek. Yeah, I say. Some fights are worth it. I head home, unlock my gate, and step onto my path. The lake's a mirror under the moon, calm and quiet. A year ago, I fought for this strip out of stubbornness. Now I see it was never about the land. It was about us. My phone pings, Sarah, board approved your deck extension, unanimous. I smile. Fair. Transparent. How it should be. Across the water, laughter floats from a barbecue. Next year, they'll have their own access. I lock up, grab my mail, and find a card, handwritten, signed by dozens. Some gates close off trouble. Yours open justice. Thanks, Mike. I choke up a little. Lesson learned. One voice, one stand, can flip everything. So, what's your takeaway? Ever fought a bully like this and won? Drop it in the comments and subscribe to my channel to be the first to hear new stories.